because Sean was my friend.
Yeah.
You know, we played softball and that was always fun. So I followed with you guys, and when you did ask me, I was like, no, because I'm like the human equivalent of a dumpster fire. So why in the hell would they want me to talk to anybody? I teach
but
murder.
You coach there too?
I teach murder.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound really jacked up, but they're my favorite kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How old are they?
These are high school kids. I teach high school. So
Cold or hot?
I feel just nervous. So.
We're back again with another Man-to-Man Monday for the Stay Mentally Strong Foundation. And this week we've got Kent Taylor, who, like a lot of the guys that we've had on here, I've known for probably 20 years, right? Somewhere around there. 20 years. He's an awesome guy. He wears many hats. He owns a landscape company. He's a dad of 2 daughters. I'm a girl dad too, and girls are wonderful. They're the ones that bring a lot of the fun and the passion to life, whereas sometimes us boys we're dummies.
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
and besides that, then Kent also teaches school. He speaks Japanese. He does. So he's got a lot to him. But he teaches. You teach school at Malin's Peak High, which I didn't even know the name of it. Tell me a little bit about that. What you do?
Teach kids who are locked up but haven't been sentenced yet. So they're in the court system.
So they're like locked up during the day.
Yes, sir.
They're not going to go anywhere. It's
the
just going to school.
the facility is cut in half. There's a secure side and non-secure side, and so I teach all of them. I don't teach Japanese there, thank heavens, but I teach.
Yeah.
I'm the PE teacher.
Yeah.
So.
But you taught about in high Japanese, right?
Yeah, it is. I don't know if this says a lot about them or me, but they're my favorite kids. And I look like crap. I just got done with a pretty violent basketball game. They have a lot of impulse control, but I play with them every day still, and I like it because it keeps me young. But you know me too. We played a lot of ball together, and I tend to talk a lot of stuff too.
So working there at Malin's Peak and working with these kids, how did you get into that? What did you choose it, or was it?
You knew I coached at Ogden High, and when I got canned as the coach, I didn't want to be in education.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like even though we didn't win very much, you know, there was definitely impact with kids, and I felt that every day, and I loved it, and it broke my heart.
Yeah.
It literally broke my heart. I was just like,
yeah.
I'm done. I'm never going to teach again. I don't want to be around this crap. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And then, so I took a year off. I just did my landscape business, and got a call from Ed that said, hey, we're opening up another division. Your name was thrown at us for a PE teacher. Will you come interview? And I said, nah, I'm good. I don't want to do it. He called back again. Yeah, you kind of have to have a specific type of teacher there. Yeah. Because you'll be called pretty much every name in the book.
I don't think it sounds bad.
It's really, really fun. Yeah. Like every single day, they respect me. Yeah. They love me. They want to outwork me. Yeah. And so our workouts are really fun. Our football games, our basketball games are really fun.
Well, with kids like that, though, even though they might not let on or tell you that, you know, it does have an impact. It'll have an impact on them wherever they end up. Maybe they get out of there. Maybe they stay in. I don't know.
They get out. We'll see. I want them to be men, though. Like
really, they've never had a mentor, and you're a mentor to a lot of them, even though you know some of them might not get out, like as you said. Yeah. Speaking of mentors, so who would you say is a mentor for you, or has been a mentor in your life?
You know, there's been a few when I was younger, but I think in my vocation, in my world that I'm at now, is probably Phil Russell. Mm-hmm. And that's why when you guys had Matt's Man-to-Man, I was crying as much as he did. And I called him and I said, Chris wants me to do this. I don't know if I can do it. He just said, go. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Phil, definitely. We would sit down in my office, especially when I was coaching, because my first year was really, really tough. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody, you get pummeled by the community, by everyone, the news. And I was working late, breaking film, and just Phil walks in and says, what the hell are you doing? You know how Phil was all the time. You know, he was always so positive. Yeah. For sure. You know, and it was fun to relive kind of through Matt too, because Matt's one of my best friends these days. There's always this unspoken. My dad died just before his. Yeah. And I remember going to his house. I was actually blowing out his sprinklers, and right after Phil passed, and I remember he came around the corner with Ethan, and I was down in the dirt like my usual self, and I just remember standing up, and we didn't say anything. There's no word said, and just three dudes with tears in their eyes, and then just a big hug.
Yep.
And nothing was said. I think at that point, I don't think either of us were capable of even saying anything without just a total breakdown. So it just ended up being a dude hug, and I got the hell out of there.
Yeah.
So I didn't.
Well, you know, that's it's like I think, let's see, feeling your dad. So mine was probably right after that. So I know what that is. And in fact, I actually just had a friend of mine for 40 years. His dad just passed away, and the funeral was today. That's where I came from. So, questions when they were asking me how you doing with your dad, I mean, he said, "Well, have you ever lost a parent?" And they'd say, "Well, yeah." And he goes, "Well, you know what I mean?" Yep. And then it's unspoken. Everybody's got something that's tough to deal with always, and it seems like in life, at least I know for me. Wait, when's it going to just stop and everything's going to be? But it doesn't, you know. And we learn things from them. We gain, even though it doesn't feel like it when it's happening. We gain a lot of strength from it, I think. And that said, what have you, from Phil as a mentor, and then some of these things you've gone through? How have you been able to, stay mentally strong, or even just muddle through until you can get to a certain point?
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm not mentally strong. That's why I always
yeah,
that's why I'm like.
Well, you wouldn't be here if you weren't, so right? Probably.
So my dad passed in 2019, which was hard in a different way.
Yeah.
Because I grew up in a home of 5 sisters.
Oh yeah.
Only boy. So you would think that we were really close, but me and my dad were like total opposites.
Yeah.
In fact, my whole family. I've always been like the lone different person in my whole family.
Yeah.
I don't look like them. I don't act like them, and that was what was hard. When he passed, he told my older sister just before, he's like, "I don't know if my son likes me."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my gosh." Far from it. Like I never respected someone more.
Yeah.
We just were so different.
Yeah.
And that hurt. That stung like crazy. And then the muddling began, and I mean that in every facet. I got a divorce in 2019. Yeah. In March it started. My dad passed in May, so I was going through a divorce, and so you don't want to fail at the one thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh, I have failed.
Yeah.
And only thing that I wanted to be good at was a good husband and a good dad. And so I'm kind of piling all these up. I failed in my marriage. My kids are suffering because of choices of their parents, and I failed at being a coach. I failed at this. You feel, and I still do, I feel like a complete failure. But what do you do?
We think, oh, I'll figure it out. I'll fix it myself. I don't need, and we keep everything to ourselves. I've realized you need a community, or you need some people, and some guys, some buddies, some friends that you can actually talk to, and then you realize that we're all probably in the same boat, but because you're taught to be this way, or don't show any weakness, no chinks in the armor. I've talked to so many people lately, and everybody's got some issue or hard thing in their life, in their family.
Right.
And sometimes we look at, that guy's got it all, he's got this and that. But as evidenced by my brother-in-law, seemingly having it all, didn't work. It wasn't really what we need. And so I mentioned community or hanging out with guys. We used to play basketball all the time on Tuesdays, but I know you did another thing, because I was there once or twice, was Friday movie nights.
Yes.
Just to go to the movies. Still a little bit.
Matt Russell and I would go, and then his brother-in-law Andy, who's on here, ran quite a bit. And then it was me and Matt for a while, just me and Matt. And honestly, I think it was we'd always do the latest movie, because we had littles, at the time. And so after they're in bed, then okay, I can go to the movie. So we'd go at like 10 o'clock, get home at midnight, and then usually a Friday night, just one night a week. I think it was for 2 hours, we're gonna go just escape reality.
Yeah.
And
not even have to really talk
some
about
of the movies
much,
are so stupid. And then sometimes after we would grab a Pepsi or whatever. Like after basketball, we'd always meet at 7-Eleven. I think that would be like the dudes roundup, with whoever missed the last shots buying Gatorades or whatever. And I think we spent more time
At 7-Eleven, yeah.
just chit chatting there than anything. But I think that was a place to belong.
Yeah.
Which I think everybody wants.
It's big, you know. You got a group or people or somewhere that you feel like you fit in or you belong.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important for everybody to have, right? I don't think tons of guys have that, and probably more guys need that.
For sure.
What else do you do to kind of fill that, you know, a sense like that of you know, I guess it would be almost like brotherhood or whatever.
You know, it's changed, you know, as we've gotten older too. I think it's moved from maybe not just belonging, but like a purpose, like having a purpose, and whether that be, I mean, it can be anything really. I mean, a lot of us steer towards our kids, but then
it can change. Sometimes it changes by the week. Yeah, but I mean, I know one of my, there's probably, and it's like a multifaceted purpose, but it's being a dad. And it's different to be a dad to my 27-year-old daughter than it is to my 13-year-old son. Be a friend or a brother-in-law to, you know, other people that are in my family still. I think that's what my purpose is, or at least maybe in the last couple of years. Might sound stupid, or maybe, you know, like people be like, oh, that's bullcrap, I know that guy, he's not like that. But helping people, you know what I mean? Like just helping people out. And it doesn't even have to be anything big. Like then you forget about money, you forget about worries and stresses and all that stuff. And then, hey, my life sucks right now because this happened, or my business went down the tubes and I'm starting over. All that stuff goes away, and you're just like, hey, this person needs a hand. Yeah. And when you give it to them, you know, you're not. The payment is you just feel good. It makes you feel better.
Oh, for sure.
So I think that's, I don't know, that's my purpose, but I guess, or purposes. What about you?
I think so similar, because dudes, we're pretty simple creatures, I think, you know. But then don't take advice from a divorced guy. He doesn't know his ass from his elbow. So a lot changes with like kids. My focus is my daughters, and I'm a girl dad 100%. Like Mal was in dance and I never missed.
I know, I saw you there, always showing up.
I didn't miss. I felt like, okay, I need to pick up. Mm-hmm. I need to pick up the pieces, and I need to be more. It was, you know, that purpose was driving hard. And so during that time, I don't think I didn't even really have a chance to think about me and my stupid stuff, you know, because I was so worried about them. You know, that's one of my purposes. The other purpose is kind of like what you said, like, I love being there for others, whether it's financially, whether it's muscle, whether it's a ride, whatever it may be, you know, I take pride in being that friend that's the first person you call when stuff goes sideways. You know, and I used to say it all the time, you know, I have some very close friends. I consider you guys very close friends, and I say, you know, a good friend will help you move, but my kind of friend will help you move a body, you know. So I'm a body mover, you know.
Probably would help you move a body when you make sure you don't get caught.
I gotta back up. But you know, I always said that, you know, and I mean it sincerely. Not literally, but sincerely. Yeah. I don't care what you have going on, because I can guarantee you, I've been there. Yeah. And you know, when Sean did that, as someone who's had a gun in his mouth, it hit. Yeah. It hit hard, and that was where, you know, you really evaluate you during that time, and then when it happens to someone that you are close with, that you care about deeply, you get to that point where you're like, again, the same emotions and the same depletion of everything hits, and it was. I mean, I'm still in it to a certain extent, but there were some years where, you know, I thought about suicide. If not daily, it was, gosh, I can't even believe I just said that. I'm actually pretty embarrassed, but at the moment I didn't have anything. Yeah. I still don't feel like, not that I don't, it's just that I don't have, I wouldn't share that. I've only shared that with like two people my whole life. Now I'm on camera.
You mentioned that, and you said you can't believe you just said that out loud. But while we're there, would you want to maybe talk about a little bit about that, and maybe what point in your life was that?